Good morning, good night, good afternoon, whatever part of the world you're on today. This episode of As the Tarot Turns is brought to you on purpose with purpose. My name is Nacho Mama. Some people call me Crystal, some people call me Criddle, like Riddle with a C. Either way, Nacho Mama is a personality, not a person. Today I'm going to read for the collective of Taurus, the Taurus collective. See what sort of messages Spirit has for y'all today. Doesn't matter if you are a man dealing with a woman dealing with a man dealing with a man, or a woman dealing with a woman. We're just going to read for the entire Taurus collective. See what sort of messages Spirit has for you. All right. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you so feel inclined. I am extremely grateful for everyone that has subscribed, and extremely grateful to those that haven't, that are about to. Words. Mercury retrograde, right? Get all tongue-tied. Little. Anyway, Taurus. Universe, please use me as a conduit to express the best message for Taurus today. For those that are watching, for those that will watch. Universe, please use me as a conduit to express the best message for Taurus. The Taurus collective. Tap into the Taurus energy. See what sort of messages Spirit has for the Taurus collective today. Please and thank you. So mote it be. Amen. Taurus. We have detached. The Queen of Swords. Detached from what? Detached from reality. Detached from people, places, things. Detached from yourself. Detached from the Prince of Cups, so being expressive, or detached from showing how you feel, from expressing your emotions, from oh, I see. You've been harboring all kinds of detached emotions, from feeling detached, from feeling out of place, from feeling like the lone wolf, from feeling like you're alone, like you're harboring and hoarding these feelings of aloneness, of not knowing how to express how you feel alone, maybe. We have visionary. Some of you might be detached from your vision. You know, maybe you saw things going a certain way, and universe always has a funny little way of taking what we think and then showing us what is really real, you know? Like when we think, that's our ego mind. The thinking part is ego. I just had an experience where I thought I was helping somebody else out, but in reality, Spirit was using them as a conduit to help me, you know? It's like, silly little human. Here you thought that's what this was, you know? And in all reality, they were helping me. I wasn't really helping them. They were helping me. I didn't even know I needed that help. Weakness. Yeah, I feel that you felt really detached and alone, and not sure where your strengths have been, not sure where to apply your strengths, not sure how to go about your mission, not sure what your mission is, not sure, just real unsure, like if you fit in, if you don't fit in, like you feel like you're like this black sheep, like it's like, sure, everybody likes you, but like you don't have any really deep connections with very many people, you know? But it's been revealed to you that you're not alone. You are not alone. You know, you just might be viewing it wrong. Sometimes it's not the actual situation, it's how we're perceiving the situation, you know? Investment. That is a Taurus card. You feel like you're alone in your investments, like you're doing this all by yourself, but Spirit is here to tell you that that's not true. You know, you have the doorway to success here. All you have to do is walk through it. You know, you have to follow where the guides are taking you. Follow your intuition. You know, a lot of times it has nothing to do with what's going on around us. Like if I look around, I have no problems on the outside of me. You know, all the problems I have are inside of me, in my mind, in the way I think about things, and in the perceived notion of the way things are. In reality, that's not how they are, you know? You have the Death card. So something's got to give. Something's got to go in order for something new to be birthed, you know? In order for one thing to start, another thing has to finish. Or maybe that's with your projects. Maybe a bunch of you have a bunch of different projects, you know, art projects, chores. You have this giant list of things that you want to tackle, but you haven't completed any of them, you know? So just start out small. Pick one or two of the things that are on your bucket list and check them off, you know? And then start again somewhere else. Like don't just start all these random projects and then not finish any of them, because that will leave you with a sense of emptiness. Because you've got a lot of support in your growth. You have a lot of support from your spirits, from your surroundings, from the things that you've learned, from the mental, a lot of expansion in your mental capacity, you know, to get things done, to move forward. I feel like some of you, either you or the person that you're dealing with has acted very recklessly. Maybe they're embarrassed, you know, maybe this embarrassment that they received from, you know, the interaction that they had with you was the best thing that happened to them, you know, humbled them. It's like the way that you acted or the way that this person acted, when they look back on all the things that they've done or the things that they've said, or, you know, if you look back at some of the things that you've done or some of the things that you've said, it's like, man, I can't believe I said that. I can't believe I did that. You know, I can't believe I didn't do that. I believe it's made you really humble, you know, like you aren't as quick to act anymore, or they aren't as quick to act anymore. Not to act and respond, you know, to let things go. We got motion, the Chariot, because whatever's out of your control is all part of the divine plan, right? You are only in control of the things that you're in control of. We have people that make problems for every solution, and then we have people that make solutions for every problem, you know? And it takes just as much energy to focus or fixate on a problem as it does to focus or fixate on a solution. But I think that either you've acted really reckless in the past, you know, and you're kind of reminiscent about that, or somebody else has acted really reckless towards you. But that recklessness and that embarrassment and that I can't believe I did that was probably one of your greatest teachers. Probably one of your greatest humblers. You know, without that experience, you wouldn't be so calm to react. You know, without having made a fool of yourself, or this person making a fool of themselves, they wouldn't think before they acted, you know? Yeah, hostility. especially in the middle of conflict. Without all the struggles and all of the like, man, I really acted a fool. I can't believe I did that. You know, that never would have, without that happening, it wouldn't have ever changed this person's mindset. They wouldn't be as humble as they are now. They wouldn't stop to think about what it is that they were going to say, how they were going to act. Excuse me. Like, I feel this real sense of embarrassment, of illusion, you know? Like, somebody was so driven by illusion, so driven by the way they thought things should be, the way they thought things were. And the universe came in and swiftly humbled them, you know? Like, no, just because you think something, which thinking is our ego mind, right? It made them humble. And now they have this new creative spark, like, or you have this new creative spark, this new understanding, this new approach to situations. Like, if it hadn't have been for all of the stupid things that you did in the past, then you wouldn't know any better now, you know? It's like, you can't go back and change what you did. You can't go back and change what you said. Or what, they can't go back and change what they did, or they can't go back and change what they said. But I feel that this has really humbled them, you know, like there was a lot of pride involved. Like, it made them step away from their ego, from their pride, and to really see where they were acting a fool, you know? There's some situations that I look back on and I'm like, man, I cannot believe that I did that. I cannot believe that I said that. I cannot believe that I acted that way. You know, but without me of acting that way, without me of feeling that way, without me of thinking that way, I wouldn't even know to look back to be like, wow, I'll never do that again, you know? I never want to be that person. Some of the relationships that I was in turned me into one of the ugliest versions of myself that I had ever seen, man. And it made me realize what I never wanted to be again, how I never wanted to act it, like to what extreme, to what capability, you know, was I capable of becoming this person? And I think whatever this interaction is with this person that you're dealing with, Taurus, it makes them feel that way too, you know? They might not be able to go back and change anything, but it sure changed them. It's like the actions, the embarrassment, it just humbled them. It humbled them in a way that no words could have ever done. No other actions could have ever stopped this person from doing this type of thing again, except for the actions that they had with you. Or that you had with them. They realized how selfish they were, you know, or you realized how selfish you were, how completely out of character, like, you became over this situation, or they became over this situation. Like, crimes of passion are a real thing. Like, we do stupid shit in relationships, trying to beg, barter, you know, glutton somebody to love us, to try to get them to love us, you know? But nothing that you beg, barter, do will get somebody to love you. They're not going to be able to treat you the way that you want to be treated if that's not the way that it's supposed to go. And we have a hard time, like, letting go of that, letting go and letting God, letting the chips fall where they may, you know? And sometimes it has to turn into a disaster so that you'll never repeat that disaster again. I mean, how are you supposed to know unless you know? How are you supposed to know what it's like to feel that way unless you felt that way? You know, you can look at somebody's situation from the outside and be like, scoff, you know? But until you're actually in that situation, then you don't know what it's like to feel that way. You don't know what it's like to lose control of yourself so much that it's embarrassing, you know? And then what it does to you after that, like how it changes you. I think that this situation changed both of you. It's like the embarrassment, the actions, the whatever it was that happened changed both of you. It was like your greatest teacher. Yep, trust. Trust the way. And the Hermit made you really understand. Go inside. It's not always them. It's also us, because it takes two to tango. You have the Magician, the power of creation. I think that you're taking all of your past experiences and the past lessons that you've learned, and you're trying to apply them to the now. You know, like you know where you don't want to be. You know where you could be. You know what you want. You're just not sure how to get there. Because you're still harboring all of these negative feelings of alonement, of detachment, of not being good enough, of not being, you know, like, oh, I'm too punk to be gothic to be punk, too poor to be rich, too rich to be poor, you know, like too small, too big, too yellow, you know what I mean? What else can we tell the Taurus collective? Yeah, your structure. It's like, that's what you have built. You've been building this structure that's based on all of the past experiences, you know, but are you only using the negative building blocks? Are you only picking up the blocks that are misformed and not the right shape to build your structure with? Let's see what we can get from the Everyday Witch Tarot. I really think that whatever experience it was that you experienced in the past that you're hoarding onto, that you're holding on to, it's probably your greatest teacher. You know, the embarrassment of your actions or their actions was their greatest teacher, you know? And it sucks that most of the times we're in relationships to help people become the best person for the next person, but they're also doing that for you. I used to say that all the time when I was younger, like, oh, I'm just training them so that they can marry the next person that they're with, you know? It's like every time that I was with some guy and then we broke up, then he ended up marrying the next girl, you know? It's like, it transforms them into better people. It's like your energy, your healing, your strength, your words, your character, like forces people to be a better person. But don't get stuck in this feeling, oh, well, where's mine then? You know, with the Empress in reverse. Why am I not good enough? Why am I, you know, still alone? If I'm such a good trainer, then why am I still alone? Yeah, the Hermit. You won't be. You have the Two of Cups. You won't be, Taurus. You just need to put down all the burdens of your past. Quit hoarding on it. It's like you're hoarding all of these burdens and you know, set ways of thinking, and it's like you got to let it go. You are a great teacher. This experience has humbled both of you. It's like it was the most embarrassing yet humbling experience for both of you. Yeah. But you got to let it go. It's got to be complete. You've completed that. You have a whole world of opportunity. With the Ten of Cups, like, love is definitely coming, Taurus. Most definitely. That's like permanent contentment in the realm of the heart. That's knowing that no matter if you're alone, no matter who you're with, like, you're good because you're good. You're good all by yourself. You're good with company. You're good without company. You're rich inside of yourself. I think the lessons of the past were extremely valuable. If you could take out the value instead of just the pain, man. Like, don't just fixate on the pain it caused you. Start looking for where it helped you grow, how it helped you learn, you know, how the experience with that person, this person, has brought you to the best version of you that you can be. Because not only were you teaching them, it was teaching you. Let's see what we can get from the angels here. What sort of messages do we have from the angels for the Taurus collective? Angels, please. Blessings in disguise, right? Wasn't I just talking about that? What appears to be a problem is actually part of your answered prayer. You'll understand the reasons behind your present situation as everything resolves. Trust in heaven's protection and infinite wisdom to answer your prayers in the best way. Man, I don't think we could have pulled a better card. It says focus on service. Your soul desires only to joyfully serve and to swim in a constant stream of bliss. The stream is continuously feeds you everything you need. Put your entire focus upon staying in the stream of giving and receiving in every situation and all that you do. Let's get one more. This one? Joy. Joy is the highest energy of all. It is the magical sense that everything is possible. Joy springs from appreciating the gifts within each moment. Joy allows you to attract and create your present and future moments at their highest possible level. Right? We live in a residual universe, and we live in the present moment of our past thoughts, creating our future. That's why the now is the most important. How you feel now, what you're thinking now. You know, and I know from personal experience that it is really hard to stay in all unicorn farts and bubbles all day long. You know, we have to experience that contrast to know. But the fact that you even understand about the contrast and to understand the lessons that are actually blessings, to appreciate the bad things in life, shows you how far you've gone. Acceptance. I mean, this time last year, you probably wouldn't have even known that there was a difference, that you could actually choose what your focus was on, you know? So see yourself and others through the eyes of angels with unconditional love and acceptance. In this way, you inspire and lift everyone to their highest potential. That's true for yourself too. Accept it. Acceptance for the things that you've done in the past. Acceptance for the things that have been done to you in the past. Acceptance for the universal divine mission, you know? And ask us to help you in this situation, and we will immediately go to work on your behalf. We're governed by many universal laws, and among them is the free will that allows you to make your own choices and decisions. So we patiently await your request. Sometimes you have to actually ask for help if you need it. You have to ask your guide, your spirit guide, source, God, whatever you resonate with. Please help me see. Please help me understand. Please let me be conscious of the true nature. Like, don't, you know, please release me from my ego, from the things that I think are going on, and show me what's really going on, you know? They can't come in and meddle in your affairs without you actually asking them. Like, you have to actually ask them and give them permission to meddle in your affairs. That was one thing that I didn't know. I didn't know that. You know, when I first started out this journey, I was a complete and total wreck, man. I had no idea that I was a complete and total wreck either. You know, most of the time when we're inside of the energies that we're in, we can't see it, you know, because we're in the middle of it. How are you supposed to see what you're in if you're in the middle of it? We have no idea where we are until after we get out of it, or till we learn from it, till we can look back on it. Then we're like, oh, okay. When I first started this mission, I was totally a complete and utter disaster and had no idea, no clue, no consciousness about it whatsoever. I thought I was all good, you know? I thought I was all good, that I had it all figured out. I had no idea where I was harboring memories from my past and what that could do to you. I had no idea that I could choose to have a good day. You know, I let all these outside experiences just take over me. I had no clue that I could actually consciously choose to not allow energies into my energy field. I had no idea that I could choose how I wanted to respond to life events, you know, like Mercury being in retrograde. I found out that the most useful tool that I found for Mercury retrograde is laughter, man. When shit goes wrong during Mercury retrograde, I'm like, not this time. Because most of the time, it's like, it feels like the energy just wants you to explode, you know? And if you explode and turn it into this huge ordeal, then you just find out that it was something simple later, you know? But if you had just kept your cool and took a couple deep breaths, you would have realized without all that explosion wasn't necessary, you know? It's like it throws these illusions at you that everything is out of control, that, you know, it's such this big deal about whatever's going on, you know, like all of a sudden you hear this weird noise in your car, and had you freaked out about it, it could have turned into a big ordeal. But when you sit back and just kind of, you know, okay, I'm on to you. I'm on to this energy, you know, and then breathe, and then not turn it into a big ordeal, that it wasn't a big ordeal. It's definitely not the easiest in the moment, but laughter helps so much. If you can laugh, like, man, I laugh at myself sometimes at the things like, yeah, some of the things that I did in my past were pretty freaking embarrassing. Like, holy crap, I can't believe that was the person I was. I can't believe that I actually thought these things. I can't believe that I actually felt that way. Said these things, did these things. But then I sit back and I'm like, wow, look how far you've come. You know? Look how far just your consciousness has come to even sit back and acknowledge any of it. Laughter is definitely a huge tool. If you can't laugh at yourself, then it'll definitely hurt when other people laugh at you. You know? And if you can laugh at yourself, then it definitely don't hurt when people laugh at you. Like, yeah, I freaking did that. Like, I can't believe I did that. You know? I can't believe they did that. I can't believe I allowed them to do that. Like, what the hell? You know? But that you only could see from the perspective that you were in at that moment. Could only understand from the perspective that you were in at that moment. What can we get from the 4 agreements? Take your life and enjoy it. Always do your best. You are alive, so take your life and enjoy it. You were born with the right to be happy, to love, to share your love, and to just be. To take a risk and enjoy your life is all that matters. Seek to know the truth. Be impeccable with your word. Seems like I get this one a lot, so it must be a very important message. When you hear an opinion and believe it, you make an agreement and it becomes part of your belief system. The only thing that can break this agreement is to make a new one based on truth. Only the truth has the power to set you free, right? Assume. Don't assume stuff, man. Assume has made a fool of more than just me, that's for sure. We assume things and then we turn them into our truth and then we act according, then our responses are all based on this truth that was built off an assumption, and then that's an easy way to make an ass out of you and me. Assume, ass you me, right? Always do your best. Honor yourself. Honor the man or woman that you are. Take the risk to express your dream. Taking action is about living fully and expressing what you are. Always do your best. Take action without expecting a reward. Do your best and take the action because you love it, not because you expect a reward. Right? If you're doing something out of expecting something, then that's a transaction. You're agreeing to a transaction. And most of the time we're agreeing to transactions that the other person didn't even agree with, or the other energy didn't actually even, understand that was an actual contractual exchange. But when you do things and without expecting a reward, then you don't need a contract from another person, and you will never be disappointed by that. Because when you are doing things to expect something out of it, then that's a contract that you have. And most of the time, they're usually one-sided, So if you're going to invest in a contract, make sure that both parties, both sides, whatever situation, understands that's a contract, Because most of the time, we just go around making contracts that we don't even know that we made. So be aware and conscious of the contracts that you're making when you're expecting rewards for something, or otherwise, do your best and take the action because you love it, not because you expect a reward. When you take action without expecting a reward, you enjoy every action, and you can even receive greater rewards than you imagined, right? I find myself having to practice what I preach all the time. Like, man, I'm only human for sure, and I'm definitely not perfect, but I'm perfectly imperfect, and sometimes I lose sight of all the things that I've learned. I lose sight of the fact that that I have the ability to change what I'm focusing on. If I don't like what I'm focusing, if I don't like what I'm hearing, I don't have to hear it, you know, or if I hear it, I don't have to feel the way I feel about it, you know. If I can't change what's going on around me, I certainly can change how I feel or how it makes me feel. There's no designated reaction. Like, we are programmed to respond, you know. We're programmed to respond in a certain way. Like everything has programmed us. Oh, well, if this happens to you and this happens to you, then you must feel this way. You know, if this happens and this happens, then you must react this way. You must feel this way. They've been programming us like that to respond in situations that we are actually in control of. I had no idea that I could be in control of how I responded to things that, you know, I was programmed to be bad. You know, oh, your tire blew out today, you should respond like this, you know? And I'm like, wait. I don't have to respond that way. I was just programmed to respond that way. And sometimes I still find myself being susceptible to programmed responses, you know, from outside energies. And it's up to me to practice what I preach. And none of us are perfect. We can only understand from our awareness. And even when we're aware of something, that doesn't mean that we won't lose sight of that. Communicate with clarity. Don't make assumptions. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. If all humans would communicate with impeccability of the word, all of our relationships would change. There would be no wars, no violence, no misunderstandings. True that. All right, guys, I'm pretty sure those are your messages for today. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, Taurus. And remember, you cannot have a bad day with a good attitude. And you can't have a good day with a bad attitude. And it is an ever ongoing practice and awareness. Awareness and practice. Practice and awareness. Practice, awareness, awareness, and practice. You know, and just because you're aware of that situation and you start practicing it doesn't mean that it's just naturally going to be that way. It still takes awareness and practice. It's like this ebb and flow of awareness and then practicing from your awareness. All right. I love you guys. Vroom, beep, beep.